Hello, Internet. This is Whispering Whim. Finally back for another grocery haul. I'm only a little late this month, and truth be told, I nearly didn't get one in at all. So I am glad to be here and talking to you guys. It's been such a busy month since I talked to you guys last. I did the camping craft show. That went really well. So I'm going to be doing that again next year. And then I've done like 3 other shows since then. And it was enough activity that the state tax board decided that I needed to be a real business. So then I started dealing with all the jumping through hoops, and like there's different levels. Like I needed a state tax ID, right? I needed a county level doing business as, fictitious name thing. And then on the city level, I needed another business license. I got one at the state level. Oh my gosh, being a real business is crazy business. And it just seems like so much work considering that most of what I do, it's not a brick or mortar store. Etsy does my sales tax when I do that. And then when I was doing shows, I was using temporary business permits. The shows do make them anyways. Apparently, you're limited on how many of those you can use. Anyways, that's life update number 1. So let's get some food in before I ramble about all of them. I should take a big deep breath in, actually. And release. I have been busy. And I can tell that I'm being a little wound up right now. So anyways, mini apple fruit pies. That is what I've been holding on to for like a whole minute straight here. And then we have some Nature Valley protein bars. Those are for my guys' lunches, right? We've got some good old flavor packs, tomato, garlic, and basil. And then garlic, herb, and wine. So those are always tasty and a easy way to flavor up some chicken, right? And then we have a big old thing of batteries. I only need 2 for one of my electronic devices. It's a little like sealer thing. Anyways, but I was at the checkout stand and they didn't have a million sizes. They just had the super jumbo one. So who can relate to that? You're like, oh yeah, I need batteries. They're right here. This is a lot of batteries, but I could use them. I feel like I do that quite often. And then I don't need batteries for a while, so I suppose that is a bonus. And then if you catch me like doing weird lip things, the retainer is gone. My orthodontist wanted to move on to braces for the top and the bottom, so no more worrying about talking through the retainer, but I was finally getting used to doing it. But the braces got in like 3 days ago. I'm still very sore, because this is all new, right? And then they tightened up all the stuff on the bottom, so it has not been fun, I can tell you. I can tell you that much. But anyways, next up, got some good old Pocky. That's also a fun surprise for my guys' lunch. Some bow tie pasta for random pasta dinner. And then a big old bag of onions. Off to the side here, I have some Trulies, which are an alcoholic seltzer water. And then I also have, if I can get it out quietly, a very giant bottle of vodka. I've gotten in the habit of having a drink with dinner, and now I've gotten my fiance in the same habit. So a big bottle of vodka seemed appropriate, and it's kind of funny. He's gained like 5 pounds during COVID, which is nothing compared to most people, right? But he's all self-conscious about it because we are still going to try to get married in October. We were originally supposed to get married last October, and that obviously did not happen. But anyways, the whole reason why I bring it up is that his easy way to cut out a lot of calories is that he prefers beer, and beer can be very calorie dense. Any light beer that isn't calorie dense, he doesn't care for, so he is now having diet alcohol with me. Oh man, yeah, I've been so busy, y'all. It's crazy. Okay, next up, some Harvest Wheat crackers. I had bought these for camping and decided that they were actually kind of nice and soft. Even before getting the upper braces, I had serious issues chewing things. My overbite is so extreme that I really only have contact on like 2 teeth. Anyways, crackers are edible. Go figure. Speaking of camping though, we had the unicorn marshmallows, right? Hot chocolate mix, and we tried it out. They are indeed colorful, but the marshmallows do dissolve really fast. So you just get kind of a vaguely colored foam at the top. But it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it, and I got myself a little cheater thing. It's some Swiss Miss, but this is the Lucky Charms one. So the same idea as the unicorns. And funny enough, there's actually a little unicorn marshmallow, whereas the unicorn hot chocolate did not have unicorn-shaped marshmallows. So go ponder that for a bit. Moving right along here, we've got some Queen olives. Those are for some dirty martinis that are low calorie for my guy. Some strawberry jam. This is the Simply Fruit one, so it's just mushed up strawberries, which is what strawberry jam jelly should be anyways. It's weird to me that you have to specifically buy jelly that's only jelly. But that's the world we live in, right? Added sugar, gosh, I think I saw glycerin in something the other day, and I was like, isn't that a soap ingredient? Anyways, let's go ahead and move right along. Next up, we have some soups. Bean and bacon to start. As I had mentioned, the braces make it hard to chew, especially right now when they're still like fresh or whatever. Right after an adjustment, they're awful. So I've been eating a lot of soups, like anything that's really soft and squishy. It's kind of scary, like how little pressure I can really use right now. The other day was Saturday, so just 2 days ago. I was just trying to eat green beans, like from a can. Those are pretty mushy, right? They were still a little rough. That'll wear away soon, I hope. Anyways, so back to soup. The next up flavor is split pea and ham. And then, if I can get it out, just some good old chicken and stars. I like the little stars more than regular noodles. A, because I don't really have to chew them. And B, it's kind of like a fun texture experience because they like shoot up. They're like... Um, I guess you would get an equivalent experience with the like rice-based soups, but I like the stars better. One more time. Who does that? That's Silence of the Lambs, right? Next up, some nice white beans for our white bean chili. Gotta make that at least once a month, right? Some tomato paste. I've gotten in the habit of making my own pizza sauce type marinara, and it's real easy, but having a bit of tomato paste kind of helps boost the flavor sometimes. So, and then wrapping up that bag, we have one lonely little avocado. I had bought a bunch on an in-between grocery trip, and I just did not get to them fast enough. I thought I could get through 4 avocados, and I kind of forgot that I had to go off and do another show. So they were all like overripe by the time I came back. It was only a few days later. So we're gonna try again with just one lonely avocado. I really love avocado, but it's hard. I don't know if it's this apartment or if I'm not paying enough attention, but I have a hard time getting one that's like perfectly ripe and eating it at that point. Do you have that trouble too? I don't know. Okay, so let's keep this ball rolling, because I have got places to be after this. So, next up, avocado oil. It's my go-to cooking oil now. I don't use olive oil or vegetable oil. Avocado oil it has a high smoke point. It's a fairly neutral flavor. It's lighter than olive oil. So yeah, that is my go-to. And then being all crunchy over here, we've got some barbecue flavored potato chips. Those are definitely for my guy. You'll notice that overall I have a lot less sweets for him though, because he's really serious about being a little more with me on the diet, I guess. He still wants them once in a while, but he's been actually really good, like better than I have. The getting the whole braces and dealing with that kind of it made it really hard, because I was having a lot of good luck on like a low carb kind of diet, you know. But a lot of the things I was eating on that diet are not braces friendly, you know. So I struggled. I think I'm back on track now. I think I'm doing better. I'm not thinner than I was, 6 months ago, but I'm getting back to that weight. So you gotta celebrate whatever progress you can, right? Finally, for that bag, we've got big old thing of Dawn, and then off to the side here, I've got a new box of green beans, because I've been eating those like for lunch a lot, and then some genuine spaghetti sauce. Some like a pizza sauce and a marinara sauce are a little different. And when it comes to like a marinara, I'm still doing the jar stuff just because I don't want to sit there and cook forever and never and ever and ever. But a pizza sauce is not simmered beforehand, typically. So you just kind of grind up the tomatoes and throw in whatever seasoning, and then you have pizza sauce. So kind of why I have both there. And then my last dry food is this big old box that did not initially fit on the counter here. And it is a bunch of popcorn. So we've got sweet and salty kettle corn, regular, salted popcorn, and white cheddar. And these things are nice. The kettle corn is 110 calories a bag, but the other two varieties are only 80 calories a bag. So that is something my guy can enjoy. And once my teeth get a little better, I can enjoy them too because I love popcorn. Now we are on to our cooler stuff. We've got string cheese, and then not one, but two packages of potatoes, and oh, I forgot the eggs. Oh man. Well, at any rate, I always forget something every grocery trip. I think it's like a tradition now. But anyways, on the weekends, I make breakfast, usually like bacon and then, hand out some donuts or whatever. But because my guy is being a bit more, conscious about how much, sugar he eats along with me, I decided to swap out the donuts for potatoes because they're still kind of calorie dense, but at least there's a little bit of fiber and stuff in there, right? So it's been kind of an enjoyable addition to our weekend routine. Next up, I bought two of these as well. That's kind of funny. Two things of roast beef. You may recall that for grocery shopping, I had, or grocery shopping, the pre-camping version of grocery shopping, I had bought a lot of lunch meat. In fact, I bought way too much of my lunch meat. But this ended up being a surprising winner. It's very like moist and soft and really good in my opinion. So I've been kind of craving more of this roast beef since we got back from camping, and therefore I got two of them. Following that, we've got our big old thing of bacon ends. This is like half as expensive as sliced bacon. It's basically all the little pieces that have to be trimmed in order to make those beautiful, perfect slices of bacon, right? And I do a lot of, like bacon sauteing, chop it up, throw some vegetables in there, use the bacon grease instead of an oil, right? So it doesn't bother me too much that it's little pieces. They are still a little awkward to work with, but for half price, you can't really go wrong with that, right? And then finishing off this particular bag is actually one of the things that I will saute in bacon. This is nice big old green cabbage. I get out my electric skillet. I render down some bacon bits, right? And then chop up wow, I'm at a loss for words. The cabbage. There we go. And I throw it in, and if you throw it in while the grease is really hot and you pop on that lid so it steams itself, I rinse it too, so there's like a little bit of natural water kind of on the leaves already. They stay a nice, beautiful green color. You can cook them to any amount of firmness. I prefer a little more on the softer side, but not mushy. And then toss in some garlic, and I dissolve a little bit of chicken bouillon, the better than bouillon, really, in some liquid, and then toss that in there, and it'll kind of evaporate a lot of the water out, but it lends a sort of salty richness, right? Anyways, so that's one of my favorite diet-friendly foods. Next up, we have a thing of sushi that looks a little worse for wear. The lady at the store was not kind to it, but And this is actually kind of like a sneak peek. I normally eat this on my way home. This is my I went shopping today treat. I always get a thing of sushi. And today I tried to leave super early so that I could beat the heat, right? Didn't work. It's really hot. But it was too early in the day to eat my lunch, so it's right here. So now you know. Next up, we have some liquid yogurt. I have another show, always another show, coming up this weekend. And I have found, during my last show, I had like big protein shakes, and they were almost too much, and they're very expensive. They're like, the ones I got were like $3.50 because I don't like stevia or monk fruit or Splenda or whatever. There's so many artificial, or maybe not artificial, but what do they call it? Non-nutritive sweeteners. And I can taste them all. All of them taste bad. Anyway, so the protein shakes that I got were good for the show because I can't really sit and eat, especially with like the braces and talking with people and trying to sell things. But you need sustenance, right? So I was drinking protein shakes, but I'm gonna try this liquid yogurt. I don't know. I'm feeling excited for it. But here is the protein shakes of choice for me. They're a bit high on sugar, so 45 grams of carbohydrate, but no stevia or monk fruit, or I'm blanking on all the other ones, but there's a lot. So these are decent, and this has 30 grams of protein per bottle. That's actually kind of excessive. And I got these, not because I think this will fail, but because I have been making smoothies. They're, the cold is comforting on my teeth. I don't have to chew them, blah, blah, blah. But I was struggling with a way to get a lot of protein into my smoothie because the powders don't really dissolve well when the liquid's that cold. And then you can do peanut butter, but I was getting tired of peanut butter. So I figure, if I use half a bottle per smoothie, that's 15 grams of protein. That is actually a good amount for a smoothie. So that's my plan there. And last but not least, for this bag, we have some little Starbucks espresso cans. My favorite drink for when I do a show is Monster Energy drinks. And I know they're terrible for you. And they have a lot of sugar. They have a lot of calories and blah, blah, blah. So I made the sad decision to forgo my Monsters, and I got these little espresso shots instead to pack for doing my show. This next one has very long hours. It's like 12 hours a day. So I'm going to need lots and lots of caffeine. Next up, we've got some more soup, broccoli and cheddar. This one's pretty good. The carrots, though, in it, they have like little tiny carrot strings. I feel like any normal person could chew them. I cannot chew them for the life of me right now. But luckily they're small enough that if I kind of maneuver them just right, I can swallow them whole. It's been rough, y'all. It's been rough. And I have to say, I don't know why y'all has become like such a common part of my vocabulary. I'm not from the Midwest. I don't have any right to be like y'all. But I've been saying it a lot lately. And I think maybe that's because I've been watching a lot of soap videos. There is a lady, Katie Carson, does royalty soaps here on YouTube. It's not ASMR friendly. She's very like boisterous and excitable. But it's comforting because it's like the same exact format over and over and over again with different colors and flavors, scents rather. And she's from Texas, so she says y'all in her videos. And that's the only place I can think of for me to pick that up as much as I have. Moving right along though, we've got some cauliflower and some green bell peppers and broccoli and oranges. So that completes our cooler section. We do have some freezer stuff, so I'll put all this away and get that right out for you guys. All right, so I have my freezer stuff. Before I start getting into that, I am going to turn on my air conditioner. I had been melting and roasting in my last video, and some of my kind commenters were like, just use the AC. Maybe it'll be a good background noise. I don't think it will be, which is why I did the first half of the video, or first 2/3 of the video, without the AC on. But I'm gonna turn it on now, and you guys can tell me whether or not that sound gets annoying or aggravating for you. So let me go ahead and walk right over here. So there's my AC turning on, and maybe not too bad. It almost whistles to me. Maybe I'm overly sensitive, but anyways, let me know in the comments whether or not that sound bothers you, because I really want to do the best videos I can, but I also want to not, roast alive in here, so we'll see. All right, freezer stuff. We have some chicken. It was still frozen at the store, so I was like, let's just keep this frozen, right? And then we have our vegetable mixes, right? There's a San Francisco blend and a Asian stir-fry blend, and I think it's in the other bag. I'll get it out later. I did not go as crazy with the frozen vegetables. The dish that I was making with them, gotten a little tired of it. I still make it obviously at least twice a month, but I was making it once a week. Lots and lots of frozen vegetables. Next up, we have some ground beef. That's gonna, it actually started to freeze a little bit in the freezer. I am surprised. Very surprised. That's good to know. When I do the videos, on top of turning off the AC, I also turn off my refrigerator. And so it always makes me nervous that it's going to get too warm in there. But this guy, like that chicken was already frozen, but this guy was not frozen. And he's trying to be frozen. That's exciting. Anyways, got some strawberries for my smoothies. The bananas didn't look that great today, so I'm going to go out to a separate store and get me some bananas. And then vanilla ice cream. I know it's a big cheat, but I do put about a scoop of this in my smoothies. It just kind of helps make it creamy and pleasant. And if you stick to 2/3 of a cup, it's 210 calories. So, I was in Jamba Juice the other day because chewing problems all the time. So I was in Jamba Juice and I was looking up at the board and I decided I'd try something new. They have this one called Peanut Butter Mood, I think it is. And it has like peanut butter, some sort of chocolate protein mix, soy milk, banana. I don't know, it had a lot of things in it. I got it. It was too sweet for one. Way too sweet. But also, I looked up at the nutrition information, and for a size yay big, it was already 460 calories or something like that. So even using a whole serving of ice cream, if I make smoothies the way I plan on making them, I could get like, I don't know, at least 16 ounces for 400 calories, probably more if I thin it out a little bit. But I was surprised on how many calories were in just, it's not a big cup. And granted, the one I got, that banana peanut butter, craziness, was probably one of their more calorie dense options. But anyways, homemade smoothies for the win. And then next up, we have some garlic knots. Only one little box of freezer bread. That is another thing that my guy has been eating less of in his efforts to lose some weight before the wedding. So that's good because this stuff takes up a lot of room in the freezer. And then we have some Japanese style yakitori chicken fried rice. I got this the other day in one of the in-between grocery trips because all the things are cut up pretty small, and other than the chicken pieces, which I have to work at a little bit because everything's so small, I can kind of just mush it a little bit. Just swallow it. Finally, we have some cauliflower and sweet potato. This is another thing that I love to actually saute in bacon. I'll cut it up into little tiny bits, put it on the skillet or whatever, render out the fat, and then I just throw in the cauliflower, and honestly, I don't think I even do anything else. The sweet potato adds a bit of earthiness, the bacon makes it savory, there's already plenty of salt in the bacon, and that's like a low carb, low calorie meal for me. And that one's pretty edible if I chop the bacon really fine. So it is 50 calories for 3/4 of a cup frozen, or 1/2 cup prepared. So this entire bag right here is 150 calories, the whole bag. Vegetables are the unsung heroes of low calorie diets. Maybe not low carb diets, but definitely low calorie diets. Now I think, since we are testing out sounds, right? We've got the AC on right now. I'm also going to go ahead and turn on my refrigerator on top of that. It's just going to be a cacophony of background noise. So, let me pop over here, turn this on. So, get our full level of sound pollution going on. Now that we're at the end of the video. So let's just peacefully listen to that for a second. Ugh, I hate the sound of appliances. Okay, so that's also another fun sound that my refrigerator makes. Moving on. Oh my goodness. Definitely take a moment. Let me know how annoying you find either of those sounds. If you don't like the way they sound, be honest about that. I might have to shorten videos or, work around it, but I have been turning everything off anyways. But I have found in the couple of years that I've been doing this that oftentimes I am more sensitive to these noises than some of my listeners. Like a lot of people tell me they don't even notice my upstairs neighbor unless I point it out. So maybe it's not as annoying as I think it is. But definitely be honest. Don't don't sugarcoat it or think you're helping me out by saying that it doesn't bother you when it does. Cause yeah, I only do these like once, maybe twice a month, so I could probably handle turning everything off. Anyways, while I'm sitting here asking for your comments about background noise, right? That is a perfect segue to do some shout outs for our wonderful, wonderful commenters. You guys are really the sole motivation for me to continue doing this. Without so many kind people looking forward to my videos, I would definitely just get lazy and stop doing them. I don't have the need. When I first started doing this, gosh, what was it, like 4 years ago? 5 years ago? I can't remember when I started my YouTube channel. I think I really wanted like a lot of attention and accolades and things like that. And in the time since then, I've become much more comfortable with who I am. So I don't really need all the attention anymore. But along the way, I've gotten so many wonderful subscribers, listeners who, it's like we're friends, They tell me about their lives, whether they're all the way in Australia, hello, Apple Tree, or if they're in the US, like Sharon May, and many of you are in the US. I lost my train of thought. Oh my. Anyways, everybody just keeps coming back again and again, and I feel this sense of like loyalty and long story short, your comments keep this channel alive. Quite truly. So let's do some shout outs. Shout out to Bone Crusher. That's a nice comforting name. The Macam Torpedo. Ooh, that's a fun name. And Super A Jewels. So thank you guys for commenting. That was just a small handful of my comments from last month. So until next time, wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. I hope I survive the next 2 months. Until next time, thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you later. Nighty night.